สวัสดีนะคะ
Good morning. Welcome the mass media and all the participants and guests who are with us online. I would like to welcome you to SCG 4 Plus together for us for the world. I am Natagan Natalang. I'm going to be your MC for the very first session of today, in which we will take you around into this exhibition for SCG ESG Pathway together for us for the world. And we are here live from the hall. Let's see what are the definition of the ESG and what exactly is ESG 4 Plus and what are the innovations and products and also services that we innovate to answer the needs of our customers and also focus on ESG. E is for environmental, S for social, and G is for governance. Let's go to the very first zone. So what exactly is ESG and what is an ESG 4 Plus? Good morning. So why ESG? Can you give us some explanation? Well, as we are living our daily life, our world is facing a crisis that is going worse and worse every day. In this October, the WBSD has announced that currently our world is facing three main crises. The first one is the climate crisis, which was caused by the increasing of the world temperature. We have never seen that big forest fire before. There's a flood, there's a drought, and all of this would going more and more extreme. The second one is loss of nature. So in the year 2050, there was a prediction that the world population would reach 1.6 billion, and how can we feed them? And lastly, the social inequality. We can see in the COVID-19 crisis, the gaps between people are wider and wider as the gap is of the social disparities in the economy or the access to infrastructure and also to healthcare. We can see that the gap is getting bigger and bigger. So that's why the business sector need to reform themselves in the short term, mid-term, and long term to face all these changes according to the principle of ESG to solve the world crisis together. So it's basically a collaboration and cooperation to solve the world crisis. ESG was announced in the year 2006. It's when the business people around the world getting together under UN principle for responsible investment under the support of the UN. It is based on the principle that the business should grow while also thinking about the environment, making sure that all the resources are managed efficiently and looking at the social dimension, care for the people's livelihood, and for the G is a good governance. So let's focus on SCG. What is ESG 4 Plus? So we would focus on the net zero, go green, reduce disparity, and focus on collaboration. Number one, net zero. We set a target of net zero by the year 2050. We are 4 main strategies, which will go into the details in the next poster. For Go Green is to bring in innovations and to develop green products and services. Reducing disparity by lean is to develop new skills for people. And fourth one is focus on collaboration. This is very important. Collaboration is the key to the sustainable growth. So all of this is called ESG 4 Plus. And so what is the plus? The plus is a governance which need to be in everything SCG works on. And now I'm going to elaborate on the SCG target of net zero by the year 2050. In our base year is 2020. And currently, when we look at the greenhouse gas emission, we emit about 3.3 million tons. And by the year 2030, it should be less than 20 7.1. And we are focused on increasing the efficiency, how to make sure that we are as efficient as possible, and we would move on to the low carbon production using the biomass and the solar energy. Next is the carbon capture, which is a brand new technology. We are still studying on it. And next is the low carbon products, which is the products that contribute to lowering greenhouse gas emission during the production and also during the implementation. And lastly would be the reforestation to be used as a carbon sink. So it's only 2050, we will still be on Earth by that time, so let's work together to fight that crisis. Now we are moving to the E, environmental, which is an intervention of the products and services which are environmental friendly and also lift up the quality of life. We start at the construction material. How will it make our life better? So in the cement and construction products, the first one is our CPAC Green solution. The CPAC Green is the digital technology. So we brought in digital technology before the actual construction happens, so we can reduce the duration of construction and the amount of work. In the CPAC Green, it includes 3 elements. The first one is CPAC Drone solution, so that we digitalize all the physical work. And next is CPAC BIM, which is the whole process. So to make sure that everyone is on the same page and trying to reduce any conflict on the site and making sure that we can reduce the consumption of natural resources. And the third one is 3D printing solution. So it would look like this. This is a furniture that we use 3D printing and use cement as a material. This is a building at Gang Khoi. Currently, we can use 3D printer to print one story buildings, and then we can also reduce the problem that caused by the lacking of the workforce. And next is the innovation for better life. Include 4 main interventions. The first one is SCG Active Air Quality, which is the air quality system. It can trap the PM 2.5 and also control the growth of bacterial and virus. The next one is called Health and Clean, which is the sanitary ware, taps and all those items. It can reduce the time that you need to touch it. And the tiles can also trap the PM 2.5. Next is the Ultra Clean Wall solution, which is the smart board wall, which we can clean with alcohol and it can withstand the fungus, and it can be converted into the LI clinic for the hospital around the country. And lastly, the SCG solar roof solutions. So we are now working from home more and more, and then electricity cost is getting higher. So if you switch to solar roof, you can reduce the electricity cost by as much as 60%. This is the solar cell roof. It's a sun power. It's the US technology tier 1, and we use the European mod technology. And the roof itself is patented by SCG, called the solar fix, that you don't have to worry about any leakage. We provide SCG solar roof solutions, including getting a permission check and before delivered. Very, very interesting. So now our life is getting better, but that's not all. We also have a SCG green choice you can choose for the world. For the products that we have, there are very many products that are environmental friendly. So when you are going to choose any product, you want something that would be good for the world, correct? So this is hybrid cement that can reduce the greenhouse gas reduction by 50 kg per 1 ton of cement. So if you buy this particular cement, or if you buy anything with SCG Green Choice label, you are taking care of the world. Well, some of you might say that you you never have a chance to buy cement, but you might have to buy sanitary ware, and you can look for the SCG Green Choice label. Now we have more than 160 items with these labels, and we are going to take care of the world with these solution. There are also other products. We have the green cartons, which is more durable, so please look for SCG Green Choice when you need to buy. But that's not all. We still have other projects to water conservation from mountain to the sea. We're taking care the whole stream from the upstream to downstream. We also reforestation to act as a carbon trap. And this is the water conservation project, which we have been working with a variety of community to build a check dam starting at the Lambang province, and now we have built hundreds and thousands check dams already. When we have the check dams, we can reduce the forest fire. There is forest that act as a carbon sink, and we also apply the water management. We build the reservoir networks and the marking sheets, allowing the people to use the water more efficient and have a better way of life. And we also have these themes: grow tree to reduce the temperature. By the year 2050, the tree that we grow should be able to capture about 5 million tons of carbon dioxide, so that we can work together and reduce the carbon together. Next, this is also very interesting, is a zero burn. Good morning. In Thailand, we are an agricultural country, so we have a lot of agricultural waste. Only what we are focused now is 21 million tons, the leftover of sugar canes, rice, and corn husk. So how can we use it? So when we manufacture anything, we need energy. So we convert this agri waste into energy. So we brought in all the leftover sugar canes and rices directly to the factory. But what if the farm is far away from us? So we have to share value with the government, with the community, with the local farmers. So we convert it into a pellet, which we call the biomass pellet. And we apply it so that we can transfer it. And this is a sustainable way to reduce the forest fire. And next would be the green packages, which are so many of them available here. Looking at SCG packaging, today we focus on the consumer packaging, which is something you will see every day. It's all those single-use items. Maybe you only use it for 5 minutes, but it takes so much time for it to be. Now we have switched to a fiber-based packages. We have a brand like Face and those bowls. And we are branching out even more. We have a spoon that is made from pulp. This ready-to-drink pasteurized milk, it's also made from pulps. And here, when you finish eating it, it's rather hard to get it to be disposed, right? But actually this is compostable. And this is what we call a fresh shield, and you can remove it. And there are other varieties of packagings. And this packaging can slow down the ripenings, so the fruit would stay fresh for longer under the name of OptiBread. So this is good for farmers as well. We also have the Opti package, which have the same function that can slow down the ripening. This is our new brand, the alcohol. So we add the Aquacella, which would add the moisture. More than that, this is the heavy use mask that at the medical grade. It can be used in the medical lab. It received the Good Design Award from Japan. And of course, there are so many things to use, which would mean so many ways. And that's why we also have these full cycle actions, we would station these kinds of booths in varieties of the partners' location, and you can bring in all those used items, put it there so that we could recycle it. So this is a closed loop of consumption from the manufacturing all the way to recycling. And next would be the innovation that could drive the country for better of life from the SCG Chemical. Here we are at SCG Chemicals. We are focused on innovation in order to drive forward the economy and the societies. And we want to grow together with all the industry and for all the partners, for anyone who work with us to have the better quality of life as well. Today we're going to present the four innovations: the sustainability, mobility, infrastructure, and healthcare solutions. So let me start with the healthcare solutions. What we are presented here, what we call the isolation capsules for aviation, which is a negative pressure capsule to transport infectious patients via airplane. This is the further development from the COVID transportation on the ground used in a variety of hospitals in the country, and for this year we do it even better, so we allow for the air transportation. Secondly, so now we're looking at the infrastructure using a high quality materials. We are making sure that the plastic pipe is bigger and we're using less polymer, but it still withstand the same amount of pressure. So it's reduction of the plastic material. And you can see that we can form a pipe as big as 2 meters, and we can deliver the water from mainland to Samui Island. And the second project on the energy is the solar floating. We are the very first one who jumped into the solar floating, which is a part of our clean energy program. We also work on the healthcare. We work with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to develop the cyclonic, which is to recycle the water and make sure the water is clean and safe for the people. And next is the SCG green polymer, which we're going to present with under the C4R principle. Reduce. The new technology allow us to build a stronger plastic beads and can reduce the use of resources and the carbon dioxide emission. Next is the recycle. Packagings are rather hard to recycle, so we design a monomaterial packaging easier to be recycled. Make it more recyclable. Now we focus on recycle itself. We collect the post-consumer plastic PCR and then we melt it under the SCG specific formula, and then we can make it into a new packagings. We also have an advanced recycling, which is to convert the used plastic into a virgin plastic and can be used for the consumable product. And lastly is the renewable, and we have been trying to develop the plant-based plastic. Wow, there are so many innovations. Let me sit down and enjoy for a bit. Where does this chair come from? This is the milk package Save the World by SCG Chemicals. So we have educated the students in Rayong province schools and teach them how to segregate waste and work together with the school. And we found that these milk packages is a huge amount of waste, which was often just thrown away into the waste. And so we have recycled it into the new products, such as the chairs or tables. So the students know to clean it, segregate it, and send it to be recycled. And this is the green corn. To create the fertilizer, so you drop the fresh fruit waste there, and then it would be mixed with the soils, and then it become a fertilizer. and the corn itself also made from the recycled milk packages. That is all for E. Now we're moving to S.
เหลื่อมล้ำ So how can we reduce the inequality, disparity, and also generate more income? So let's take a look at the project that we have today. So as mentioned by Kunbo, that for social, we are focusing on reducing inequality and disparity, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. We can see that businesses are shut down. SCG is now prioritizing the reduction of disparity, and we come up with this project to reskill and upskill to provide the workforce with skills needed for the market. And within the 2050, we aim that we will have about 20,000 students who will be joining us. And this one of the students that have joined our project is also here today. So good morning. I'm Tirathon Sarashod. I'm from the occupational development of project of SCG. Before, formerly I am a taxi driver, and after the COVID-19 pandemic, I quit the job and I just joined the project hosted by SCG, and now I am the driver of the petroleum transportation. And thanks to SCG for having this kind of project for us. Also, I have another joiner here from the Community Power Project. Hi, I'm Pim Faseri. I'm the representative from Community Power Project from Ubon Ratchathani. I am a farmer that suffered from the major flood in 2017, and the Community Power Project basically allowed me to create more value to my product, and I come up with a product today, which is the local snacks made from nuts, and it has been processed, and now I'm selling it at 400 baht per kilo, and we have about 45,000 packages ordered, and that generates about 1 million baht of income. And also the Community Power Project also has another variety, vast expansive variety of products as well, and this is the packaging or some kind of a basket that we also produce from local produce as well. And I would like to thank the Community Power Project of SCG. Also, we have other students here who are in the nursing school, and they got the job right after their graduation. So good morning. I am Suwimon Nangam. I am the representative from the SCG Foundation. I am now working at Sirirat Hospital as the nurse assistant, and I have to thank SCG and also SCG Foundation as well for allowing me to have a very secure occupation and also secure income as well. So that is the Reskill Upskill project to reduce disparity and generate higher income for the community and the society. So next, which is equally important, is the project from Siam Kubota, and this is the prototype farmer or smart farming model. Good morning. This is the development as part of the ESG Pathway. Siam Kubota has developed the smart farming farmers over the 7 areas of Thailand, and Siam Kubota, we also supported the smart farming in 5 aspects. The first one is to use IoT technology to collect data and analyze data, allowing farmers to reduce the risk in their cultivation. Also, the second one is to excavate or to adjust the area of the plantation using laser technology. This way we can reduce the water usage and also to develop or elevate the drainage system as well. And the third one is to use application in rice cultivation and also to control the production factors as well. The fourth one is to use drone for agricultural purposes. This will reduce the amount of chemicals and fertilizer and making the livelihood and also the safety of the farmers better as well. So the fifth one is the promotion of farming process which will reduce the CO2 emission. And also at Siam Kubota, we have the smart farming project, and at that area, the farmers are welcome to visit us. So this is part of the SCG ESG Pathway, Together for Us for the World, and this is part of the exhibition that will be showcased, and we will come back here once again after the main event. Now the main event is ready, and I would like to now hand over to the main stage for this SCG ESG Pathway, Together for Us for the World. Thank you.
SCG ให้ความสำคัญในเรื่องความปลอดภัยของพนักงานและผู้เกี่ยวข้องทุกคนโดยถือเป็นส่วนหนึ่งของวัฒนธรรมขององค์กรเพื่อความปลอดภัยของท่านในกรณีเกิดเหตุฉุกเฉินให้ปฏิบัติตนดังนี้เมื่อเกิดเหตุฉุกเฉินสัญญาณแจ้งเหตุฉุกเฉินจะดังขึ้นพร้อมสัญญาณไฟที่กระพริบตามจุดต่างๆเมื่อท่านได้ยินสัญญาณแจ้งเหตุฉุกเฉินนี้ให้ท่านไปยังทางออกฉุกเฉินซึ่งมีป้ายแสดงตามจุดต่างๆโดยรอบทางออกฉุกเฉินจะถูกออกแบบไว้เพื่อความปลอดภัยของท่านให้ใช้บันไดลงมาที่ชั้นล่างสุดของอาคารเมื่อท่านลงมาถึงชั้นล่างสุดของอาคารให้ท่านไปยังจุดรวมพลของบริษัทเมื่อทุกท่านถึงจุดรวมพลผู้รับผิดชอบด้านความปลอดภัยจะตรวจสอบรายชื่อและความปลอดภัยของท่านหากพบว่ามีผู้ติดอยู่ในอาคารทีมฉุกเฉินจะเข้าช่วยเหลือตามแผนฉุกเฉินของบริษัทเพื่อความปลอดภัยของท่านสิ่งที่ควรทำและสิ่งที่ไม่ควรทำ 1. ไม่ตื่นตระหนกเมื่อได้ยินสัญญาณเหตุฉุกเฉินสังเกตป้ายทางออกฉุกเฉินที่ใกล้ตัวท่านมากที่สุด 2. ไม่วิ่งใช้การเดินเร็วเพื่อความปลอดภัยและป้องกันการเกิดอุบัติเหตุ 3. ไม่ใช้ลิฟต์เมื่อเกิดเหตุฉุกเฉินให้ใช้บันไดทางออกฉุกเฉินเท่านั้นด้วยความห่วงใยจาก SCG ที่คำนึงถึงความปลอดภัยของท่านเป็นสิ่งสำคัญที่สุดกรุณาปฏิบัติตามคำแนะนำต่างๆและหากพบเหตุไม่ปลอดภัยสามารถแจ้ง Emergency Call Center 02-586-3191 หรือผู้ประสานงานของท่าน
คุณกำลังมองหาอะไรธรรมชาติและโลกที่น่าอยู่คุณภาพชีวิตและสังคมที่ดีหรือโอกาสที่เปิดกว้างสำหรับทุกคนแต่สิ่งเหล่านี้อาจไม่มีวันเกิดขึ้นเพราะวิกฤตที่โลกกำลังเผชิญโลกร้อนขึ้นภัยธรรมชาติรุนแรงขึ้นและอีกไม่ช้าสิ่งมีชีวิตอาจสูญพันธุ์ขณะที่เรายังบริโภคราวกับว่าทรัพยากรไม่มีวันหมดทำให้วันนี้ขยะทั่วโลกเพิ่มสูงขึ้นมากกว่า 2,000 ล้านตันหากยังเป็นแบบนี้ในปี 2050 เราอาจต้องมีโลกถึง 3 ใบเพื่อให้มีทรัพยากรเพียงพอกับความต้องการและยิ่งทำให้ปัญหาความเหลื่อมล้ำทวีคูณมีคนตกงานทั่วโลกเพิ่มขึ้นเป็น 205 ล้านคนขณะที่เด็กขาดโอกาสทางการศึกษาอีกราว 260 ล้านคน
Money cannot buy the world back. This is our earth and this is our responsibility. We have to change.
You can save the world with just simple steps, such as refusing unnecessary plastic bags, carrying around your own water bottle, and in no time at all, you'll be living a new normal, eco-friendly lifestyle.
นี่คือเดิมพันครั้งใหญ่ที่เราทุกคนต้องช่วยกันเพราะหลังวิกฤตอาจไม่มีโอกาสอีกต่อไปเพื่อแก้วิกฤตนี้ไปด้วยกัน SCG พร้อมร่วมกับคุณดูแลสิ่งแวดล้อมชุมชนสังคมอย่างเป็นธรรมและโปร่งใสด้วยแนวทาง ESG เพื่อยกระดับคุณภาพชีวิตที่ดีในวันนี้และส่งต่อโลกที่ดีกว่าให้คนรุ่นต่อไปโลกที่คุณอยากเห็นจะเกิดขึ้นได้ถ้าเรา Act Now ESG เริ่มด้วยกันเพื่อเราเพื่อโลก
SCG Passion for Better
Good morning, members of the press and all distinguished guests. And for those who are joining online, I am Fern Sirattaya Isara Pakdi. Welcome to SCG ESG Pathway, together for us for the world. For the event today, we are holding this event under the strict COVID regulations. So all of us here, including myself and all distinguished guests, have already gone through the ATK tests and COVID-19 screening as required by the Ministry of Public Health, and we will be conducting and following social distancing guidelines very strictly. So I would like to ask to take off the mask during my presentation and also for those speakers who are joining me on stage as well. From the video that you have just seen very recently, we can see that no matter who we are, no matter where we are in the world, we are facing the same crisis. And today is a very important day and will mark a very major and important step of SCG to declare its commitment to conduct the business along with taking care of the environment, social and governance as well for sustainable growth and sustainable development. And that has been the agenda of SCG for over 108 years. Today, the 8th of December 2021, this marks the anniversary, mark the anniversary and also the new era of SCG that we are moving towards the 109th year of SCG as well. We are looking forward to work with all sectors in order to enhance sustainable development on the ESG principles. Today's event is held on the Green Meeting measures. We will be seeing innovations, products, recycled products being showcased here in this event, and we will have the inspirational talk, which we will be hearing from a very vast variety of panelists. And who are they? Let's take a look at our panel of speakers. Good morning. Good morning, the SCG executives, employees, and all of you in this auditorium. I am New Chayapon. So, according to the average, one day, human created 1 kilo of waste per person. It may not seem much, but if we think about the first day that we were born on this earth, for example, for myself, I'm 31 years old, so it means that I have been on this earth for 130,000 days, give or take. So it's about 130 tons of waste that I have created, and this is not talking about the rest of my life as well. So basically, everybody in this auditorium and everybody on earth, we are tearing through the resources of this earth. And also, we have to address the waste management as well. We have to think about the methane and carbon dioxide and global warming. So what can we do? How can we turn 1 kilo of waste to zero waste? I believe that we can do that if we are willing to change. The first thing that I change my eating habits. I focus that on Tuesday, one day a week, I'm going to go vegan. So at first I was a bit skeptic about how can not eating meat help with global warming. So I tried to study, I tried to watch documentaries, and basically what I found is that if you want to raise a livestock, or for example a cow, how big of a space do you need? What food do you have to feed your cow? And also what would be the byproduct or the pollution or gas that are emitted by that of raising a cow. So if we have to deforest in order to have our farm, if we have to feed our livestock, then that is the actions that contribute to global warming. Another change that I committed myself to is my buying habits. Because if we go into the supermarket, we pick something off the shelf, for example, a loaf of bread, piece of meat, a bottle of milk. I believe that 80 to 90% of the people, including myself, we will choose the last bottle on the shelf because the expiry date is a bit farther away. It makes you feel comfortable. But what about the ones that are in the front row? Does it provide you with the same nutritions? It's the same, but we want the last one. What about the ones that are in the front? No one will pick that because it's going to be waste. Food waste, packaging waste, all the same. So I changed my habit. I picked the first bottle in order to reduce the waste. So another change that I did is my commuting method. My traveling. Basically, I have a number of things that I collect. For example, watches, shoes, clothes. But when I grow up, I know that, basically in a day, you wear one watch, one pair of shoes. You have the models or the toys in your bedroom, which will just basically sit there in the case. So apart from collecting all these souvenirs, I started collecting my experience. And you can see from the change of clothes that you can see here, I wear the same jacket. And I got this comment saying that, do you have only one shirt? And I just said yes, because I buy a shirt or a jacket based on its use, not fashion. And what I found last month from watching a documentary is that the process of producing a t-shirt, one t-shirt takes the water resources of about 3 years of water consumption per person. So basically, if we look in our closet, we will have like how many shirts do you think you will find? How many pants do you think you will find? And you can just multiply that with the water resources that are used to make these clothes for you. Another change is my waste segregation habit. So waste segregation, I was told by my father that, since I was very young, that we should start segregating or separating our waste, basically from dividing plastic from paper. And my mom told me last week that I used to go to this department store, and this snack, the Pocky or Kuliko, you can see that there's a paper packaging on the front and the plastic inside. Basically, what happened is that I would just save the inside, the packet in my pocket, and basically take that to the waste segregation spot in my house. So this is what I have been doing. I try to segregate the waste from my household and also deliver that to the points that are now available. And this is another thing that I can do to make the world a better place. Is it difficult? I can say that it's not difficult. If we start little by little, try to do all these, change all these habits that we have. I try to tell my wife to do the same. But, if the change comes abruptly, we're going to fight because the other person basically doesn't understand. So we can start little by little, do it gradually. And now my wife is having or changing into this habit, not as much as I am now today, but she is now changing as well. So we can start today by ourselves. Thank you.
So, good morning, the management team of SCG and all the honored guests and participants. I'm a bit nervous to be here on the stage. Normally, I'm in my coconut plantation, which are full of green. So, our world is a green globe, and the coconut is also a green globe. I'm from the coconut plantation in Damner Saduak, Ratchaburi, and my coconuts are the very good quality, good taste, has a great aroma, and can attract many people. And it's one of the economic crops that brought in a lot of income for the country. My own plantation is, I want to create continuously and making our product good sustainably. So when we ship coconut to other countries using the basic technology, it's only good for 60 days because it's a fresh fruit. It's easy to go rotten and just become another food waste. So I'm trying to find the technology to answer this pain point. How can we prolong the shelf life of our coconut. So I have worked with the SCG and they have sent in their scientist team and we have found OptiBreath, which is the technology developed by SCG in order to be applied. And this is a very good technology, allow us to store the coconut for much longer while still keeping the good taste. And this technology can increase the benefits and also reduce the food waste because it allows for a much longer shelf life and it can increase our marketing opportunities. Let me go into a little bit of a details. Well, we have no idea that this simple plastic bag can extend the shelf life of the fresh products. But OptiBreath material, which is a result of a long-term research with SCG. This is just the very first version, which taken years, and it taken another year to develop into the final version. Currently, we on V2. It has taken us 3 years to come this far to get a good technology that can answer to the needs of the market. But we are not going to stop here. I'm looking for a biodegradable OptiBreath so that it can answer the true no waste society. And for this particular technology, it allows shipping coconuts to the world more efficiently. Nowadays, we are facing problem with logistics because the COVID-19 caused so many change and it takes much longer to ship products from A to B, and that reduce our marketing opportunities and also reduce the shelf life. And this technology truly answer these problems caused by the crisis. And thanks to SCG for being a partner and allow us to be able to enter the global market. I started by being just one simple farmer and keep on developing and to an exporter. So technology is a very important part in my growth and development. It allowed me to develop the product, to develop market, and most importantly, to reduce the possibility of food waste and make a world a better place as good as my coconut plantation, which is full of greens and peas, and I want our world to be as sustainable as my coconut. Thank you very much, SCG, for inviting me here to share the use of the OptiBreath technology, which allow for a better marketing opportunity and to reduce the waste for the world. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So good morning. Can everybody see what I'm holding in my hand? This is a milk packaging or a milk bag. But it's not just a milk bag for me. This is something that very special. Joining me on the stage is Kun Som or Kun Walailak, who will be sharing our story together. So Kun Som, do you know that this milk bag, how problematic it is? Well, it release this very bad odor in the classroom, and it makes the atmosphere or the surroundings in the school quite bad. So basically, we go to the teacher, and we came up with a solution of how can we manage the milk bag waste. And our school, together with SCG Chemical of Kun Som, we work together. Yes, so basically under the project of No Waste Community, our initiative is basically to manage waste at the home level, at temples, and also at schools. And we talk to teachers, the members of the school, and we found that the major problem that major source of the problem of waste at school is the milk bags. And basically, what we did is that we tried to what happened to these milk bags is that it will be compiled and then sent to landfill at the municipality. And so this milk packages, it is a kind of plastic which we called LLDPE. And the characteristic of this plastic is that it can be molded into plastic beads and then turn or convert it into other products, creating higher value. But SCG cannot work alone on this. We need help from the community, or in this case, the students. So can you tell me about how we manage the milk bags in school? Of course. So what we did in school to manage the milk bag waste is that during lunchtime, we will compile all these waste that that are generated from the milk consumption in the school, and then we just cut it up, clean it, compile it again, and then send it to SCG Chemicals for recycling purposes, and then we can produce this chair and also plant pots. So, and this is the chair made from the plastic of milk bags, and basically this is prolonging the life of the milk bags from 10 minutes to 10 years. So, for this chair, have you tried it yet? Well, I will try it now. So, first of all, I feel very glad because, when we have visitors in our school, everybody will say that this chair is very practical, very durable as well, and it can add value to the milk bags as well because it can be turned into furniture, basically, and it reduces the waste of my school significantly as well. Yes, so waste are no longer waste if we have better management method. And we would like to invite you to be part of this initiative, turning these waste into something of more value for the next generation. So please, let's be part of this milk bag Save the World project. Just change your thoughts, just change the way you think, and you can change the world. Thank you very much.
Good morning. So today I'm going to share a story from my own community, which is Tambon Ban Sa, Jae Hom, Lampang Province. So let me switch to the Central Thai dialect. So from the past to the present, I have seen so many changes in my community. In the past, we have faced drought, to the point that we cannot grow anything. We can only grow it once a year during the rainy season. But in the raining seasons, we are facing flood over our farming area. So you can see that there is no balance. Sometimes we don't have enough water, sometimes we have too much water. And during the drought seasons, we don't have any water at all. In the rainy season, we don't have the way to store the water. And the drought was getting worse and worse. And then forest fire happened. There is about 100 of hotspots per year. Yes, correct. There was actual forest fire of more than 100 times a year. And that made our local forest just a brown and dry area, and we do not have the way to support our livelihood. This is one of another reasons that the younger generations need to migrate to other areas. And then SCG at the Lampang branch has educated people on the water management, and we have been working together to reforest and to build the check dams. Check dams would trap sediments and also trap the water into the woodlands and stream as long as possible. Now, when we have check dams, all those areas that has become just a brown waste area, it became green again. There are more forests, and the people starting to move back to the communities. Now, our community has expanded the work even further, and we have a plan to build a water reservoir to collect the water in the rainy season and use it in the dry seasons. And there are other varieties of good projects, for example, the network reservoirs, and we have the Maki Cheeks, the stop lock dam under the sands, and to build the concrete wells network. And then we lay down the HDPE pipe network to feed into the farming land. Now, when we have forests, when we have water, we have a better quality of life. When there is enough water, we can farm all year long. We can reduce the cost, and we can increase the income. We do the fine agricultures. And then we can generate 10 million or 20 million baht by producing good seeds. Then we have better economy, and more people who have migrated away come back to their hometown and to build on the business that has been there since the time of their grandparents. For me, as a younger generation and one of the youth group in the community, I have invited my fellow youth to do many activities such as building the check dams and conservation of the soil forest and reforestation of the upstream forest, so that my generation and the younger generation and the next generation would learn to love the land, to protect their land. And this is all volunteerism. There is no compensation or anything. And these young people, they see that what they have did is truly beneficial. And they see that the forest can be a local supermarket. Lastly, I and my youth groups, which like a young rises youth groups, would like to be a part and a support for any communities who want to develop their own community into a happy ones like my own. And lastly, I would like to say, don't just love the nature with your heart, but you have to do it with your hands. Thank you.
สวัสดีค่ะ
So good morning. My name is Kochagon. I'm the landscape architect, and I just got back from COP26. It's very difficult for someone who does not have political role or political position to be joining the COP26 event. But I am lucky because I was awarded by the United Nations for coming up with the innovation to create resilience for the urban area or the city, or to make the world more resilient with global warming. I am the representative of IVLA, and I am basically the representative of 77 countries and about 10,000 landscape architects, whether it is the American Association of Architecture, Australian Association of Architecture, and what we try to do is that we try to as the landscape architects, we want to make the world a better place. We want to be part of the initiative to keep the temperature under 1.5 degrees Celsius and try to achieve net zero within 2040. As you can see here from the screen, this is Bangkok, our hometown. I have to say that we have to race to resilient. We have to basically put an end to climate change. We have no time. I am very lucky as well. My video clip was put on the opening of the COP26 as part of the speech of Sir David Attenborough, addressing the world, whether it is addressing the world leader, Joe Biden, our prime minister, and another world leaders as well. And David Attenborough said that every country has its own journey, but no one is close to achieving the goal, whether you are developing countries, underdeveloped, or developed countries. And a part of my clip that appeared in Sir David's speech is, can we end climate crisis in this generation? Can we stop climate change in our lifetime? Is it possible? So the answer today, I believe whether we have an answer or not, whether SCG has an answer or not, we'll take a look. So this is Samut Prakan province, and this on my right hand is Thames Barrier, and this has been built 40 years ago, and it has been shut down in the 80s, but during the 2000 and 2010, it has been used 64 times. So why is that? And we have to also take a look at the picture here on my left hand side, which is about four hours away, or about an hour drive away from Bangkok. So how can we change this? How can we ensure that we have a solution? So whether it is the pandemic that we're facing, according to the IPCC report, it says that at the end of the century, if Nong Sek, the last presenter, the two last presenter who basically is about 12, when he's 20 or when it's year 2030, if the world leader is making a promise that everything will change, everything will be better by 2050, Kun Sek or Nong Sek will only be 40 years old. And that is basically the reason why all the new generations are very frustrated with the current situation of the world. We are now trying to invent things, we're trying to come up with tools. We have this park at Chulalongkorn University, the 100-year Chula Park, and also in Thammasat University as well. We try to build buildings that basically portrays the clean energy, the food management, food security, trying to tell the world what is food, what is the best practice in food manufacturing. And these universities and campuses are basically the hub of new generation. And we also have a number of projects that are supported by many sectors, especially by SCG, for us to come up with innovations. Sometimes we come up with a design already, but we are still trying to seek out the materials that will go in the design. For example, Thailand, in Bangkok, we have about 2,000 canals, but almost all of them are being used as sewage or waste drainage. And this, how can we make sure that this will be used, canals will be used for its own purpose? And this is the innovation that we came up with. This is to reduce the waste of concrete. Please give a big hand for SCG because they supported us in this initiative. Also, there are a number of things that the urban area is causing problem for the world, and the urban area can be the solution as well. We can build dams. In this generation, as we speak, are we going to let the picture on this left-hand side happen? So I'm just going to sum up my impression of COP26 and whether we can end climate crisis in this generation. This is the image of my face on the Embadero building in Glasgow. So when we look at this image, the people in that building, they are trying to help the world, trying to save the world, but we cannot wait for them because the action that are being undertaken outside the building are more significant, more important, and everybody is breathing the same air. So before Bangkok and Thailand or part of us will be lost forever, can we end this climate crisis in our generation? The answer lies with all of us. Thank you very much.
So let's give a big hand for our second guest, which is such an inspiration talk. And after you have listened, I believe that you all realize that we can start very, very easy. We can start at home, in our wardrobe, in the community, as we have seen with the checkdowns. We can start at schools with that meal break projects. We can start it from the business in the coconut plantation or from the academic side and then go to the international level, as Professor mentioned earlier. So thank you very much, all of you. เด็กชายเสกสรร อาจารย์วรากร คุณนิว ชัยพล จุเลียน ภูผาด คุณวิโรจน์ คำนนท์ and คุณวลัยลักษณ์ จินหิรันกุล So that was such a great sections which we have actually heard from the community, from the business and from the academics. However, a very important sector is of course the private sector, the business sector, which is going to play a very important part and to drive the ESG toward success. And today I would like to invite everyone to listen from the business, from the SCG, because they are going to play an extremely big role in order to solve this particular crisis we are facing. And a very, very special event because this is the very first time the SCG is going to announce their ESG pathway. And the only one person who can share with us is, of course, please give a round of applause to Mr. Rungrod Rangsiyopat, President and CEO of SCG. Good morning, everyone. Last month, I have a chance to be at COP26 at Glasgow with the Professor Gotchagon. But about a few weeks before that, I was invited to a party which was held by the EU diplomats. Now, when I heard the term EU, I started to get excited because the EU country pay much attention to the climate change. So when we were about to attend the dinners, a person asked me, well, SCG, you are very famous in Thailand and it's already good enough for you. Instead, why do you have to focus so much on climate change? Like why? So I was like, I'm not sure how to ask. I'm not sure why they asked this question. Is this a trap or something? Is this a trick question? But my answer was that SCG, about half of business of SCG is in other countries. And we also trade internationally and so on. And this is a global agenda, the climate change. And if we do not play a serious part in that, then we wouldn't have a standpoint in the business world. But another very important thing is that at SCG, we are in Thailand, we are in ASEAN, we have a responsibility. We have a responsibility as a citizen of the world. It cannot be denied that SCG is working in industrial sector, and it cannot be denied that we are a part of the problem we are facing But what we can do is to play a part in solving that problem. ESG is a sustainable business management principle which has become more and more mainstream. Even at the investors or the banking, financial institutes, governments all over the world. So the E stands for environment. S stands for society. And G stand for governance or good governance. And SCG would like to play a part in bringing ESG and apply it into our business. We do have a principle which we call a 4+. So the first is net zero. We set the net zero agenda by the year 2050. And the second one is go green. Thirdly, we use in Thai term is lean to reduce disparity. So basically reduce inequality. And last one is embrace collaboration. And last but not least is the governance or what we called fair and transparent. So if we are going to go into the detail, net zero 2050, our short-term goal is by 2030 we would reduce absolute emission by at least 20%, be it by using the clean energy, increasing the efficiencies, reducing energy consumption, and investment in technology, and to increase the efficiency in the resource consumptions. We are building more check dams. Now we have already about 100,000 of them. We are also growing more trees and to reforest. And the second one is go green. So at the heart is to manufacture products and services which are having higher quality, more environmental friendly, and reduce the consumption of carbon. And we build new platform for energy. We build platform on clean energy or on AV. Now, for the net zero combined with go green, our target is that within these 7 to 8 years, so by the year 2030, we are going to invest in these two programs about 70 billion or about 1 billion a year. And to reduce the inequality, our target is that by the year 2025, we are going to reskill, retrain the SMEs that working with us. At least 20,000 of them would receive this reskill and retrain. And for embrace collaboration, be it for the business sectors or industrial sectors or even collaboration with research institutes nationally, internationally, and of course, government collaboration, not only within the country, but around the world. And lastly, which is most important from my perception, is to create confidence with fairness and with transparency. This is the fundamental to SCG from the past to the future. The climate change, global warming, the inequalities of incomes, the fact that the world loses natural resources every single day. These three problems is a global problems and it affects all of us. So I would like to invite each and every one of you to come together and make the world a better place. To come together so that we can deliver a better world, a good world to the next generations for us, for the world, and for sustainability. Thank you.
คุณเชื่อหรือไม่ว่าโลกนี้ขับเคลื่อนด้วยการเปลี่ยนแปลงเปลี่ยนเพื่อคุณภาพชีวิตที่ดีกว่าเปลี่ยนเพื่อลดความเหลื่อมล้ำในสังคมเปลี่ยนเพื่อนำสมดุลคืนสู่โลกหรือเปลี่ยนเพื่อคนรุ่นต่อไปด้วย Passion for Better เพื่อเปลี่ยนโลกวันนี้และวันหน้าให้ดีกว่าเดิม SCG จึงมุ่งดำเนินธุรกิจเพื่อความยั่งยืนด้วย ESG 4+ มุ่ง Net Zero Go Green ลีนเหลื่อมล้ำย้ำร่วมมือ plus เป็นธรรมโปร่งใสในทุกการดำเนินงาน 1. มุ่ง Net Zero เพราะสิ่งแวดล้อมดีขึ้นได้ด้วยการลดการปล่อยก๊าซเรือนกระจก SCG มุ่งสู่ Net Zero ในปี 2050 โดยเพิ่มการใช้พลังงานทางเลือก เพิ่มการพัฒนาและลงทุนในเทคโนโลยีขั้นสูงและใช้เทคโนโลยีดิจิทัลลดการใช้พลังงานและปล่อยก๊าซเรือนกระจกร่วมกับชุมชนสร้างฝายชะลอน้ำคืนสมดุลป่าต้นน้ำปลูกต้นไม้ลดโลกร้อน2. Go Green เพื่อยกระดับคุณภาพชีวิตที่ดี SCG มุ่งพัฒนาสินค้าบริการและโซลูชันที่ลดการปล่อยก๊าซเรือนกระจกและลดใช้ทรัพยากรเพื่อให้มั่นใจว่าทุกการเลือกใช้สินค้าและบริการของคุณได้ช่วยโลกส่งเสริมการใช้พลังงานทดแทนทั้งในและต่างประเทศยกระดับการก่อสร้างให้เสร็จไวลดของเหลือทิ้งรวมถึงพัฒนานวัตกรรมเม็ดพลาสติกรีไซเคิลคุณภาพสูงเพื่อหมุนเวียนทรัพยากรอย่างคุ้มค่านำกลับมารีไซเคิลใหม่ 100% และลดขยะอาหารลดการปล่อยก๊าซเรือนกระจก 3. ลีนเหลื่อมล้ำเพื่อลดความเหลื่อมล้ำจากปัญหาเศรษฐกิจและพิษโควิดเรามุ่งสร้างคนReskill Upskill ฝึกอาชีพที่ตลาดต้องการพร้อมนำเทคโนโลยีช่วยเพิ่มผลผลิตทางการเกษตรและเสริมสภาพคล่องให้ SME โดยการยืดเวลาจ่ายเงินซื้อสินค้า 4. ย้ำร่วมมือและขับเคลื่อน ESG ให้เกิดขึ้นจริงSCG มุ่งร่วมกับเครือข่ายทั้งในประเทศอาเซียนและระดับโลกอย่างต่อเนื่อง SCG ตั้งมั่นดำเนิน ESG 4 แนวทางนี้ด้วยความเป็นธรรมโปร่งใสและพร้อมร่วมกับคุณเพื่อเปลี่ยนโลกวันนี้และวันหน้าให้ดีกว่าเดิมเพื่อส่งต่ออนาคตที่ดีสู่คนรุ่นต่อไป ESG เริ่มด้วยกันเพื่อเราเพื่อโลก
SCG Passion for Better
หลังจาก
So after we've heard from Mr. Rungrod and also from watching the video, I believe that everybody now has the same picture that ESG is not an option but the pathway to survival for us and for the world as well. So the employees of SCG, all of us, we prioritize the ESG pathway and we're ready to comply with ESG 4+ in order to achieve net zero, go green, reduce disparity, enhance collaboration, plus transparency and fairness in order to elevate and also address the world crisis on the concept of environmental, social, and governance. We are also joined today by other 6 executives of ESG from all business units who will be joining us in declaring the commitment of SCG as to how SCG will be coming together in order to build a sustainable world. So first of all, I would like to invite Mr. Niti Pattarashok, the President of Cement and Building Materials Business, Vice President of Living Solution and Housing Products. Good morning. Good morning, all distinguished guests. I am here today to introduce to you the innovations of SCG. SCG has been innovating a number of projects, but over the last recent years, we are focusing more on green products or environmentally friendly products. We launched a number of SCG Green Choice products as the options for consumers who are more focused on conserving the environment. And I would like to just give you a few examples. The first one is SCG Solar Roof, which is produced in order to save or to create the energy efficiency and reduce the consumption of fossil fuel. Also, active air quality, which is another innovation of SCG that we use the system that firstly can reduce energy consumption, produce fresh and clean air free of PM 2.5 and also antibacterial as well. And that is one of the innovations that has just been launched this year. The third innovation is the sanitary ware that you might have seen already from the showcase in the exhibition. All these products are water efficient and touchless. This is for your own sanitation. So these are basically examples that I would like to give you to give you the better picture as to how SCG is devoted to create all these products and choices for consumers. And this is also a way for us to, we are looking forward to increasing 2 times the products that we are having now by next year as well. And another thing that I would like to just share with you in this event is we are now coming up with the social and economic innovations. And as you can see from the exhibition outside, that we have this Q Shang project, and we have trained about 1,000 mechanics already in order for them to work on our platform and to deliver the products and services to serve the owners of households. And what you will get as the house owner is that you can be sure of the quality of our mechanics. And what the mechanics get is that they can have a secure job and income. So we are expanding all these initiatives into 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 mechanics in order to have a secure and stable society. And lastly, by having partnerships with a number of other agencies, or the circular economy partnership which is called CECI, Circular Economy for Construction Industry. That is one partnership that SCG have, and also another innovation as well. And that is the innovative partnership that SCG initiated with our partnership, who are also here in this auditorium as well. And we believe that all these partnerships are crucial, and SCG Cement and Building Materials, we are trying to enhance and also to elevate this partnership as well within our organization, and also with those speakers who have just joined us on stage a moment ago. This is to ensure that we can deliver environmentally friendly product, sustainable product to the consumers in order to make sure that the society and the next generation will have a better world to live in. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Niti Pattarashok, the President of Cement and Building Materials Business, Vice President of Living Solution and Housing Products. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Thanawong Chanapumi, the Cement and Building Materials Business, President of SCG, on stage.
Good morning. So for the cement and green solution business, we have a commitment, and we do have a product innovation already. You can look on my left-hand side. This is what we call a hybrid cement that can reduce the emission by 600 and 1,000 tons per year. This is from the material side of things. Now on the CPAC green solution, we have brought in the 3Ds. The first D is the 3D printing solution, which we were allowed to have a project in Bangkok. And the second one is the D for drone. When we have the sensors on it, we can control all the construction management. And thirdly is the D for digital construction, which many of us are familiar with the name of CPAC BIM, Building Information Management. So this was developed in order to turn waste into value for everyone. For our own business, we are ready to join force with all parties in order to move forward to the green construction for the development and sustainable growth together. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chana Phumi, VP Cement and Construction Solution Business, Cement Building Materials Business of SCG. Next would be Mr. Thanawong Ari Ratchakul, President of SCG Chemicals.
Good morning, all distinguished guests. So for SCG Chemicals, we are still determined to be the sustainable petrochemical business. We are following the ESG pathway, and as you might have already seen from the exhibition outside, we are driving forward the ESG on innovation-based methods, whether it is the service, the products and solutions that are environmentally friendly, and we believe that we can respond or serve our consumers' needs as well. And we are trying to develop this green polymer product, and examples or the prototypes are also on display outside as well. And our goal is to have about 200,000 tons by 2050, and this is to serve the needs of the consumers who are environmentally concerned. And also, we are also focused on trying to promote and support the use of resources efficiently as well, as much as possible. This is basically the circular economy concept, as we have already know, and we are very determined to enforce this particular concept, and we're also trying to apply the technology, as you have seen from the video as well, that SCG Chemicals, we use digital technologies in our production process and in our supply chain, throughout our supply chain of SCG Chemicals as well. This is to ensure that we can increase the efficiency in our performance, but even more important than that, that can reduce the energy consumption. And it will also reduce the emission of CO2 as well, or greenhouse gas emission as well. So in the bigger picture, from what I have said so far, we believe that we are part of the force that will be taking climate action and combating climate change. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Thanapong Ari Ratchakul, the President of SCG Chemicals. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Wichan Jitpakdi, the CEO of SCG on stage, please.
Good morning. SCGP dedicates to create a new packaging innovation for consumers and for the sustainability of the world. We put a lot of emphasis on the ESG, which is our DNA of business. When we care all the three dimensions, E for environment, we brought in the circular economy principle and to recycle and recovery the resources. Currently, 95% of our product has a recycled content, and for the product life extension, we have the innovation of packaging that can extend the shelf life of vegetable and fruits, which allow for waste reduction and more commercial life cycle. For the social, we work with societies and other parties to support the community to bringing and to reuse the resource. And now we are entering the waste-free community at Ban Pong model. Currently, there are 183 communities in Ban Pong district, Ratchaburi, which is in this project. And I think you all know we are facing the COVID-19. SCGP has innovated the cardboard bait, and we, together with SCG Foundation, has delivered the SGCP cardboard bait to Thai patients and also Vietnamese and Indonesians. When we look at the G for governance, SCGP pay a lot of attention in the governing of our process and make sure of its sustainability. Our management committee include the external experts. We manage fairly, transparently, accountable, and professionally. All of this for a good society, for quality people, and for sustainable world. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Vishan Jitpakdi, CEO of the SCGP. Next, I would like to invite Kun Thamasak Sethakudom, VP Finance and Investments and CFO.
Good morning, all distinguished guests and all participants. I am here today to launch a new business of SCG, which is the SCG Clean Energy. So it is the combination of clean and energy. So at SCG, we are very focused in investing in clean energy businesses, whether it is solar energy, wind energy, or wind power, and also other types of renewable and clean energy as well. This is going to be the pathway that we will take in order to get to net zero by 2050. So SCG Clean Energy will be contributing to the change or the transition of carbon reduction and global warming as well. Another thing that I would like to just emphasize that SCG is committed to conduct our business based on transparency and fairness, and also traceability as well. It has to be traceable, not only our standards, but we have to also follow the international standards as well. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Thamasak Sethakudom, the VP of Finance and Investment and CFO of SCG. And lastly, I would like to invite Mr. Yuttana Jiamtrakan, the VP of Corporate Administration of SCG.
สวัสดีครับ SCG จะมุ่งมั่น
So SCG is focused to develop our human resources in order to develop innovation that would answer to the needs of our customers and environmental friendly and also society friendly. Moreover, SCG would walking forward for the open innovation and keep invest in the deep tech startup, for example, at the technologies of the laminated to use as a replacement material, and the technology that we're going to build a high quality materials that can be used for electricity storage, and the technology on carbon capturing, which is very important for the future. This is what we do for a more sustainable world so that we can leave it as a legacy for the next generation, as we have committed that passion for better environment and society. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Yuttana Jiamtrakan, VP Corporate Administration. And next, may I invite the sixth executives onto the stage, and also may I invite Mr. Rungroj back on the stage, and the sixth of our executive has already declared the clear commitment, be it to increase the proportion of increased shelf life, reduce waste, and the clean energy, and turn waste into value. And next, let's have a group photo together for ESG Pathway, together for us and for the world. And this is such a huge collaboration through the sustainability of the business via ESG 4+, for net zero, go green, reduce inequality, embrace the collaboration with fairness and with transparency. The SCG business has already walking onwards to the year 109 on the part of sustainability. Please give a round of applause for the 7 executives. And next, I truly believe that many of you are waiting for the next movement on these commitment goals, which everyone has pledged upon, be it on the cement and the construction materials. We have the green choice, active qualities, and the water reduction sanitary wares, and also the touchless sanitary ware, and also other dimensions. And also a round of applause for all the 6 inspirations on the stage. They play a very, very important part in inspiring all of us. And to start it simple within our home, within the community, within our work, our daily life, and our business. And if you look on the screen, you will see that on the 2 sides of that, there is an augmented reality, which is different from you see on the stage. So if you look at the screen, you will see the AR, and this is to showcase the importance of technology that will change our way of life. And this is everyone who playing a part from the inspiration talk, the 6 of them, คุณกฤษกร คุณนโรศักดิ์ คุณวิโรจน์ คุณเสกสรร คุณวรัยลักษณ์ and the 6 executive members, including Mr. Rungrod, who will be working together to drive SCG along the ESG pathway and to achieve the success together. We walk together, we would go further, and another round of applause for everyone on the stage. Thank you very much.
และนี่นะคะก็คือสิ่งสำคัญ
So today marks a very important day because today is the 108th anniversary of SCG, or we're moving forward to the year 109th, and also asking for collaboration, requesting for collaboration for sustainability, reduce disparity for sustainable future, starting together for us and for the world. This is our determination. So this is the last session of today's event. But last but not least, because today, as you can see, for those who are joining online or those who are joining from home, you can also walk the exhibition to see all the showcases as well. And all of the samples and prototypes are also showcased in the exhibition as well. And we are taking you live in the exhibition virtually. So before we part today's event, we are very focused in delivering the very good experience to you. So please scan the QR code. For those of you who are in the auditorium, you can scan the QR code on stage. For those who are joining elsewhere, you can complete the survey or the questionnaire for us so that we can improve the next event that we're hosting in the future. So thank you very much for joining, and I do hope that we can meet again soon. Take care of your health, and let's move forward together. For the press, for the members of the press in this event, and for those who are joining through Zoom, in a moment we will have a Q&A session with the executives, where you can directly ask Mr. Rungrod and the 6 executives of SCG as well. But please give us a moment in order to set up the stage for the Q&A session. And after the Q&A session, we will take you to the virtual exhibition tour so that you can see the products and services provided by SCG, and also so that you can take away the souvenirs that are developed by the Community Power Project. and also the lunch set that we have available as well, and you can take them before you leave us today at the elevator area. So this is my all. Thank you very much for joining, and goodbye.
ใช่ไหมครับพี่แม็กเข้านะครับโอเคครับตอนใหม่แล้วนะครับ
สวัสดีค่ะกลับมาอีกครั้งหนึ่งนะคะกับ SCG ESG Pathway ค่ะ
So welcome back to SCG ESG Pathway, together for us for the world, and we are going to continue on exhibition, which is also as interesting as what we have seen earlier. That is the driving simulator, which I was on just a few minutes ago, and it's very fun, and it allows us to learn how to drive safely with the SCG Skill Development Company Limited or the Taksa Pipat School. So welcome the audiences. Now we were going to see what the Taksa Pipat School apply onto the safe driving. The first one, of course, is a simulator, which we have seen earlier, that it's a very real. So there is a three axis. When you're moving around, it will feel like you are really moving around. Yes, I felt like I have just going uphill. And after you have learned about how to drive safely in the classroom, it's time for the driving simulator so that everyone would be familiar with the actual technique before you actually go onto the road. So this is the first technology we bring into our Taksa Pipat school. The next one is even more exciting. And we have the VR technology. It may look super small, but it's super cool. This VR or virtual reality would simulate the actual situation. For example, the person here is wearing the VR goggle. Then he would felt like he's sitting on a truck. And when you look on the left and on the right, you would actually feel like you are on actual truck and is driving an actual truck. So you can be in touch with all this virtual reality. For example, there would be just someone who step in front of your car. There would be a motorcycle that just drive across your car. This is something that you cannot practice in the classroom, so that's why we need virtual reality, and it's also very fun and challenging. This is one of the technology that we have applied. I think we are one of the first business that brought in virtual reality into the driving school. Next, let's see At the automobiles itself, we have the AR or the augmented reality. So we reduce the limitation of the car checkup. Let's say when we train someone and we need to check the big truck, it would be rather hard, right? You have to get a truck, you have to get onto the car. So we brought it onto the tablet, and the students can choose whatever vehicle they want to see. So this now you have the 15 meters long haul truck in your hand. You can flip it around, you can look at all the details. And next, okay, if you want to see the light systems, is it working? What about the brake? When you hit the brake, does the light show? So one of the light missing. So this would mean that the car is not ready to be drive. This is another technology that we applied. And besides getting people ready, we have to getting the vehicle ready. And the next step would be what we have developed by ourselves. We try to find a way to make sure that people are healthy enough to drive, taste their visual acuities and their response. So we have a touch screen test in which you can do it by yourself. There is an 8 tests in total. So the first one is test your responsiveness when you hit the brake. So now you are driving, and when you saw the brake light, you have to step on the brake right away. Do you make it? This is safe enough, so you make it. And for those who went through this test, and if you hit the car in the front, that would mean you need to leave a bit more space between you and the next car because your response is a little bit slower than other people. So you would know that you need at least like 3 seconds or 5 seconds. And that is like personalization. But our person here is very, very good. This is just a part of technology that we have brought in to show you today. So we train our staff, we also trained the external people, and this is a way to uplift the skills and quality of our transporters. And we aim to be one of the organization contribute to a safer road for everyone. So this is very interesting. It would make you safer, make the vehicle safer, and it's brilliant. So let's move to the next one, which is also very interesting for the SCG ESG Pathway. And here we are at SCG Smart Board Ultra Clean. So good morning. This is our Smart Board Ultra Clean version. So it started from our original Smart Board. And when we put on extra coating, and the uniqueness is that you can clean it with alcohol or sodium hypochlorite. And another one is that it's very durable and it can withstand funguses at more than 99%. So let's look at it. Now I put a Sharpie on it. So if it's the old generation of Smart Board, with the general coating, you cannot wipe it away. But for this one, you can wipe it away. So it can be used in the medical settings and when you spray the alcohol on it. For the other type of board, if you put an alcohol spray on it and you wipe it, the color will be peeled out. But for this one, everything is still exactly the same. What we have developed, the reason we developed this is well, during the COVID crisis, this has been brought into the medical environment, and we also developed a positive pressure cabinet, and all the way to the Smart Board SCG for the AI clinic, and it can be used in the emergency rooms and in a variety of medical settings. And another pro is that it's extremely durable, but easy to move. We can move it into a narrow space if needed, and it's very, very beneficial to the medical community. Wow, so it's a very good solution. It can be used in the hospitals, but it can be used in the household as well. If you have a small child who like to paint the walls, this would be no longer a problem. Thank you very much for Ultra Clean Smart Board. Now we move to Cotto. What is the air iron? And now we are looking at the tiles. The concept is health and clean for a better quality of life. We have a new version of tiles called air iron, which is the air filtration tiles. So the tiles can trap the PM 2.5 at 89%. So how it works, we put the tourmaline in the tiles, which would release the negative ion, and it can trap the PM 2.5 so that the air is fresher and better, and you can breathe freely 24 hours a day. But that's not all. We move to the right-hand side. We have the hygienic towel, which is an antibacterial towel. We put the silver nano into the towel, and when it reacts with the bacteria, with the virus, then it will be deactivated. So it's good for the kitchen, for the sitting rooms. And this is such a great solution for the COVID crisis. Is that all? Okay. Thank you very much. This is Cotto Air Iron, which is very good for our health. Next, a little bit more, still with Cotto. This is a very interesting sanitary ware. So good morning. What we have been putting on the show here is focused on the reduction of water consumption, electricity consumption, and also touchless. When we look at this tap, it has a sensor on it, so it's a touchless tap, and the water would stop flowing within 15 seconds. So let's say when you are brushing your teeth, sometimes you forgot to turn off the tap. It would stop by itself. And we also have an innovation called Cotto Clean, which can control the metal contamination in the water. So when you Google, you can be sure that you wouldn't receive too much of that metal. And this is sanitary ware. They only use 3.8 liters of water per flush. Normally, on average, it takes 6 liters. So when you look at 3.8 liters, it's just like 2 big bottles of water. So it's really water consumption and is environmental friendly. There's also a sensor, automatic flush, and the seat is heated, and we have the nozzle for the clean, for the hygiene. So it's very good for winter time, isn't it? You can sit on it all day long. And for those of you who did not visit the exhibit here, we have the battery run flush. You only need 4 AA batteries, and then you just wave your hands on the flush, and then it will just flush it by itself. So it saves water, it saves energy, and it's also touchless. So extremely environmental friendly. And we have a variety of the sanitary bowls. This is the optimum model, consume only 4.8 liters of water. And it has the same function with Verso, so it depends on your preference. So it would answer to the needs of different styles and also different body type. And most importantly, these are environmental friendly, so it can help you and also help the world Kotos not only pay attention to the products, our production plant are also a green factory. So we using green building. We do not affect the community. It's not that we gain, but the community lost. But we are all gain together. We are friendly neighbor to the nearby community. Thank you very much. Now, moving on to the next station, which is very interesting, is the Q Shang. So we have talked about the construction, about the sanitary ware, but where can we find the workmen to build our home? Good morning again. We have a platform called Q Shang, which is an online platform. And you can just go into the website www.q-shang.com, which is available 24 hours a day. You can access by yourself, and there would be lots of workers waiting for you there. The reason that we develop these particular services is because when we look at the today, everyone work from home, right? You can order food online, you can order everything online, but now you're working at home, so you have to work and you have to take care of your house as well. So that's why we brought in this platform to help you. But it's not only just the consumer side, but also on the worker side. When we are entering the digital world, those workers they would have to find their work online. So that we developed this platform in order to match the timetable of the consumers and of the technicians. So if you book it on the website, you can be sure that the technician will be there on time. And we at Q Shang also provide training for the electricians to the handyman. And we work with the government departments, like the Department of the Skill Development, looking for the licensed handyman. For example, this is a winter here. There's a lot of demand for the water heaters, and all of our electricians are certified, so you can be sure of the quality you will receive. So you can enter the Q Shang. If you're looking for the electricians, the plumbers or anyone, they are available, and you can be sure of the standard. They will train to make sure that everyone will be safe for you. That is such a high standard. And though this is COVID, right? We are making sure that all the technicians are vaccinated. If they are not vaccinated yet, we will arrange for them to get the vaccine, and also the rapid antigen test to make sure that the technicians will be safe before entering any home. And we are SCG, we are supporting the technicians to make sure that everything is up to standard and make sure that everyone has the best solution available, so all would be safe. And on the platform, they have to be safe so that they will be ready to serve any customers at any time. So you can download the application now, or should we go into the website? You can enter the www.q-shang.com. This is for the consumer side. But if you are technicians, plumber, handyman, you can download Q Shang Buddy at App Stores and also the Apple Store. So when you work from home, if you have any problem, leakage and so on, well, when a house has been lived in for a while, some problem would definitely bound to happen. Now you have Q Shang, which is the all-around solution. Thank you very much. This is such a great innovation from SCG, and we have collected all this innovation which we have developed to answer the needs of our consumers and customers, and most importantly, to answer the principle of E, S, and G. That is not all. There's still very important highlight, which I keep it for the last, and that is our EV platform. Let's see what is our EV platform What is the innovations? Do we have any exciting new car? Let's see. So my apology, we are losing the audio for a moment. Please accept our apology for the technical difficulties. The translation will be back online as soon as the audio is back online.
SCG เราเองเนี่ยเราอยากจะทำการขายสินค้า EV นะครับแต่ความเป็นจริงเองนะครับวัตถุประสงค์หลักของเรานะน้องแขกก็คือว่าเราอยากจะช่วยผลักดันนะครับนโยบาย sustainability ของประเทศไทยในการที่จะเป็นฐานการผลิต EV นะครับและเพื่อตอบสนองนโยบาย ESG ของทาง SCG เราด้วยครับผม
ค่ะโอเคแล้วคอนเซปต์ของตัว EV Solution Platform ทั้งหมดเนี่ยมันครอบคลุมอะไรบ้างคะ
เราใช้คอนเซปต์ที่ว่า Smart Clean Mobility นะครับซึ่งถ้าเกิดเราไปคุยกับทางผู้เล่น EV นะครับหรือว่าผู้ที่ดำเนินธุรกิจ EV ทั่วๆไปเองนะครับแน่นอนนะครับจะหนีไม่พ้นในส่วนของที่เราเรียกว่าตัว Smart กับตัว Mobility นะครับแต่ความแตกต่างของทาง SCG EV Solution Platform เองนะครับเนื่องจากทาง SCG เราเองเนี่ยมีตัว SCG Solar อยู่ด้วยนะครับสิ่งที่เราเพิ่มเข้ามานะครับก็จะเป็นในเรื่องของตัว Clean นะครับความหมายของ Clean ก็คือว่าเราจะพยายามนะครับ Synergy ตัว SCG Solar เข้ากับทาง SCG EV ของเรานะครับเพื่อทำให้การในตัวลด CO2 เองนี่นะครับเป็น
Please accept our apology for the technical difficulty. The audio would return shortly.
พูดอย่างนี้อยากเห็นตัว Product แล้ววันนี้มี Product บางส่วนนะคะที่มาโชว์ในงานอยากให้พี่สมนึกพาชมนิดนึงค่ะว่ามีอะไรบ้าง
So could you please show us the products in this area?
ผมจะขอเริ่มจากตัวกลุ่มสินค้าแรกก่อนนะครับของเราเองเนี่ยเราเรียกว่า
Let me start with the very first product group, what we call the material handling, which is a forklift.
ปัจจุบันนี้เองเนี่ยนะครับเรามีตัว product portfolio อยู่ด้วยกันทั้งหมดเองนะครับ3แบรนด์นะครับเราเริ่มทำธุรกิจ EV forklift เองนะครับเมื่อปี2 ปีที่แล้วนะครับโดยเริ่มจากแบรนด์ BYD นะครับเป็นแบรนด์แรกนะครับปัจจุบันนี้เองนะครับเราได้มีการเพิ่มตัวแบรนด์เพิ่มขึ้นนะครับก็คือเรามีการพูดคุยกับทางเฮอร์รี่นะครับแล้วก็
in discussion with Hurley and Toyota.
กลุ่มถัดไปนะครับ ก็จะเป็นกลุ่ม passenger car หรือกลุ่มของตัวรถยนต์ไฟฟ้านะครับเราเองเหมือนตัวพวกลิฟต์นะครับเราเริ่มจากตัว
The same with
BYD
the forklift we start with BYD. This is the E6. This is my own car. You know I've switched from Camry to BYD E6. If you want to know what it's like, you can drop a line at the SCG International website. Besides the BYD brand, I also have a very exciting news that we are bringing in the Aura Good Cat from the Great Wall Motor into our product portfolio. The Aura Good Cat will show up here again next week from the 13th to 17th December at SCG EV Expo. So please welcome to try your hands on the EV. And lastly, this is not the last one. There's still more. But however, what we have been presenting is that besides working with the Chinese automobiles, we also work with Toyota, which has been a good partner for a long time. The Toyota has a Lexus UX300, which is the only EV model of Toyota here at the events. And the last one is the commercial fleet, which would include the electrical pickup, electrical truck, and we have already showed our new Siemens truck, and we hopefully that by Q1 it will be ready to use. And next would be the bus for the employee, the passenger bus. So that's the three main categories. So what is your plan for the EV solution platform?
เรียนอย่างนี้นะครับในส่วนของตัว passenger car
So for the passenger car, we are going to increase the product in our portfolio. Currently, we have BYD. We are working with Great Wall Motors. We are working with Toyota. And in the future, we might got Tesla. We might got NIO. And we will got the EV from the European manufacturers into the portfolio so that the SCG employees would have more choice. And for the commercial fleet cars, besides imported completely new built-up units, we also working with the local manufacturers to convert the combustion fleet into electrical fleets. And our expectation is that by the end of next year, we would have 600 EV in use within SCG, and we can reduce the carbon dioxide emission by 7,800 tons. So is it big or small amount? It's equal to growing 800,000 trees. Is there anything else that you would like to elaborate on? I think that in the future, when we are working on the EV project for SCG, so besides the use of the actual EV, the carbon trading, that would also be a very important part that would add value to SCG, and this would answer our goals of ESG. Thank you very much. So this is all for today for our EV solution platform. Thank you very much, and let's go back to Kun Bo on this stage. Thank you very much, Mr. Somnuk and Kun Juthanut for the EV platform, which is the smart and clean mobility innovation, extremely important. Now we have arrived at the end of the today. Thank you very much for being with us on this live sections. And if you have any feedback, please click on the link under this post to enter the feedback survey and to make sure that we can serve you even better in the future. And we do have the 10 prizes for those who have sent in the question in the SCG ESG Pathway. I think we have already announced the name of the lucky winners, and it will be posted under this live, and then you can go to SCG official page to collect your prizes, which is a healthcare gift set from All Clean by SCGP to keep you safe during this COVID crisis. And for today, this is a very, very important day for SCG. This is a birthday anniversary. Now we have reached our 109th year, and this is a very, very important step to go together for us, for the world, reduce global warming, reduce the scarcity of resource, the inequality, and set path to the sustainable growth and development together. That's all from me today. Natakan Natalang. Thank you very much for your attention. See you again next time. Goodbye.